Welcome to Stories for Lip Reading. If you haven't used our website before, we suggest you look at our How to Use page before you begin. We hope you enjoy this short mystery story called Playing with Fire by Kath Whiting. It has been filmed in 2 episodes. This is episode 1. Playing with Fire. I polish glasses and ponder the clientele. Betrayer and blackmailer sit by the wood fire. It is a hobby of mine, making up our guests' backstories. We are a cosy establishment, only 15 beds. The owners are away, so I'm pretty much running the place, which suits me. The bell goes, summoning me to reception. I leave the bar and go to check in my last reservation. Marks & Spencer grey suit, white iPod earphones, handsome in a consciously nondescript way. I wonder if he's a plainclothes policeman. His suitcase at least lends him a bit of character. It has seen many better days, scuffed and bashed in. Nobody would want to steal it. "Good evening, Sarah," he says, squinting at my name badge. "Johnson, 1 night, please." He composes his face into a smile. His teeth are slightly see-through at the ends. When I'd looked at the list of check-ins earlier, I'd assumed this was a fake name. Smith or Jones would be too obvious, so probably having an affair. However, now Mr. Johnson is here in front of me, I know I was wrong. He has no excitement or anticipation about him. I show him to his room. I offer to carry the battered suitcase, but Mr. Johnson declines. "Can I get food here?" he asks, putting his case on the clean floral bedspread. I glance at my watch. "We're still doing bar snacks." Mr. Johnson follows me downstairs. I feel uncomfortable with him behind me. He is very quiet, almost not there. He orders a flame-grilled chicken sandwich and a whiskey. I make his food and he eats it at the bar. Usually people who sit at the bar chat to me, but Mr. Johnson is silent. His behaviour is measured and deliberate. I feel like I am providing an alibi. Betrayer and blackmailer finish their bottle of red wine and say their good nights. They tell Mr. Johnson he must visit the cathedral, but to go to a service so he doesn't have to pay. He laughs enthusiastically at blackmailer's joke about God charging admission. When they leave and Mr. Johnson turns back to me, his briefest glance means I'm complicit in his ridicule. Now we are alone. Usually, this is when middle-aged men open up or make clumsy passes at me that have to be handled in such a way to maintain or even increase my tips. Mr. Johnson just takes his mobile out and starts texting. I collect all the glasses, make sure the fire is dead and start the dishwasher. Finally I say, "Breakfast is from 7. Would you like a wake-up call? Newspaper?" He looks up at me from the glow of his phone, like he'd forgotten my existence. Now I feel like he's eating me with his eyes. The hairs on the back of my neck prickle. He says, "6:30 please. No paper, thank you." Mr. Johnson is the first guest to check out in the morning. He asks if he might leave his suitcase. I point to the baggage area and say my standard patter, read from the sign on the wall. "Please note, we accept no responsibility for lost, stolen or damaged items." I can't help but smirk when I say damaged. "Thank you, I'll collect it presently," he says, leaving it there and going out into the rain. I'm having a kip in one of the vacated rooms when the reception bell being pounded wakes me up. I hurry down to see Mr. Johnson at the desk. Soaking and wild-eyed, all his haughty decorum gone. My suitcase, have you moved it?" he asks. "No, sir." I look around the reception area. "Oh dear, I think it must have been stolen."